everybody, and welcome back to Bertie Budget channel. Today's little project, we are going to be, I'm distracted by something on the floor. Whatever's that? Never mind. Yeah, where was I? Today's video is about this Suzuki Strom 250. Don't know why it's called a V Strom when it's a parallel twin, but that aside, yeah. It's a great bike, and it is classed as an adventure bike, sports adventure tourer. I don't know if you can see that. Basically meaning it's designed to go off the road onto the green trails. I don't think it's any good for that personally. I think it's a road bike. It seems to have road tyres. The problem with it is that it is geared very low. Look at the size of that bloody sprocket on there. The result of that is it's got all the grunt and the low gears. You've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight through the gears, and then you're up to 75, 80 mile an hour, and the engine's screaming its head off. That's no good to me. I want to bring that down a bit, and the way we do that is we change the sprockets, as you probably know. We can either go up on the front. Currently it's got a 14. The recommendation is to go to a 15 on the front and leave the back as it is. I'd be more than happy to do that. Only absolutely nobody anywhere does a 15 tooth front sprocket for it other than AliExpress. And I'm not happy to put an AliExpress Chinese sprocket, generally made of cheese, on my shiny new bike. So my other option is to go down on the rear, so you can go up on the front or down on the rear, and rough calculation, going up on the front is the equivalent roughly of about 2 to 2.5 down on the back. Now the back is a 47 and I am going to take it down to 41. Why are you taking it down to 41, Bertie Budget? Well, in order to try and explain that without trying to get mega technical, we are going to retire to my living room and look at the website, which is called gearingcommander.com. Excellent website, well worth looking at if you're going to be messing with your sprockets. So let's go and have a look at that now and see what see how I've arrived at my decision. Back soon. Right guys, we're sitting in front of my computer. I have no idea how this is going to come out, having never filmed a computer screen before. I have seen other people try and it's all blurry and shit and horrible. But yeah, let's try it anyway. What we'll do is we'll go www.gearingcommander.com or .co.uk, I can't remember. Let's try .com. Yep, there we go. So it asks me firstly, do I want to go imperial or metric? We're in the UK, so we're a combination of both in this country, but we seem to be imperial for the purposes of road transport. So we'll select imperial and press OK. It's then asking us to load the bike gearing. So on the left, select bike brand. Mine is a Suzuki. Select model. Now this one is a DL250 V-Strom. There it is, DL Strom. Okay, select version year. I believe they're all the same anyway, but let's go for 250, 17 to 18, although mine's a 20. Load bike gearing. Now, I don't know how well this is going to come out. I'll just try and zoom you in because it's quite small print. In you go. and if you can't read this, I do apologise, but what you can see there is I've got 3 columns: stock, current and custom. Now the stock one is obviously the stock. That's how it comes out from the factory. So it's got the tyre sizes on there. It's loaded in the data from the make and model I've put in there. And just here on the right hand side, it's telling me that the sprocket is 14 on the rear, on the front, sorry, and 47 on the back. So we'll leave that one there. That's called stock. There are 2 more, and you can change any of these. So we're just going to deal with 2, stock and current. Now if we scroll down here, and it tells me the RPMs in particular gears, which is useful. It's not what we're interested in. Top speed in the gears. Now this is stop. Hang on. No, this is the one. My apologies. So that's RPM differences due to drivetrain setup changes. Now this is what we're going to be messing with. So it tells you the RPM in each gear. So we've got 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. And it's telling me it's set at 50 mile an hour. I'm going to change that to 70 miles an hour. Okay. And straight away it changes. Now in 6th gear, stock 14 and 47, it's telling us that at 70 mile an hour we're going to be running at 8,358 RPM. That's at 70. I mean, if you change it to 80, why has that disappeared? I'll tell you why that's disappeared, because in the stock configuration it won't do 80. So let's go back to 70. Yeah, top speed on this bike is 77 miles an hour. So let's stick with 70, and you can see 8,358. Now let's go back to the top, and let's go to current, and we're going to change that to 15 on the front. Okay, let's use the 3rd one as well. Let's change the 3rd one. So it's the same bike, and we're just messing about with the sprocket arrangements. And let's go to the one I'm actually proposing, which is going to be 14 on the front and 41 on the rear. Why 41? Basically, I can get stock is 47. I can get a 46 or a 45. That's not a big enough change. There doesn't seem to be anything else until you get down to 41, so I'm going to 41. It may be too far. I may be changing this back again because it may make the power too weak. Obviously, as you reduce top end, you reduce the amount of power, but this does seem to have a lot of power at the bottom. So there you go. We've got our 3 configurations: stock, current and custom. Stock is 14 on the front, 47 on the rear. Current 15, which is the one I wanted to do, and then leaving the front alone at 47. And then the arrangement that I'm actually going to go with, 14 on the front, which is stock, 41 on the rear. Now we can come back down to this page here where we set it at 70 mile an hour. We can see first column is stock, 8,358 is the RPM. Changing it to a 15 on the front and leaving the back standard at 47, that RPM drops to 7801 RPM. And then the custom at 70 mile an hour, which is the one I'm going to go with, which is 14 on the front, 41 on the rear. Sorry if I'm waffling and this is boring. This is just what I'm doing. It might interest you. If not, just whiz forward. But there you go. The one I'm going with, 14 and 41, gives us an RPM at 70 mile an hour of 7291. That is against 8358. This is why I've arrived at 41 on the rear, because I can't change the back. There's some other things here that you can mess about with, which I'm not going to go too detailed into, but you can set a stock RPM there, let's say 8,000 RPM. and then you can see what your bike's doing in each gear. So at 8,000 RPM on the stock configuration, it's doing 67 miles an hour. Now if we change that to my custom, which is the one I'm going to go to, we can see that jumps up to 76.8 mile an hour at 8,000 RPM. It's going to make it, in my opinion, a much more usable bike. I'm nothing to do with this website, by the way. It's not my website. I don't know whose website it is. I'm not being paid. I just came across it. It's one I've used several times. If you want to mess about with your sprockets without getting your spanners out, this is the place to do it. Anyway, I know that was a bit waffly and a bit brief and what have you, but go and check this out. If you want to mess about with your sprockets, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to 41 on the rear, and we're going to leave the front stock at 14, and then we'll road test it, see how we get on. Okay guys, thanks for that bit. We'll get back out and get on the dirty bit, on the spanners, and start changing things around. Cheers guys, bye. Right, let's crack on and get this back wheel off. I have to be honest, I'm always a bit nervous about taking a little bike apart that's sort of newish, under warranty, blah de blah, but fuck it, who cares. Right, 24mm on the back. Irritatingly enough, this bike has no centre stand, which makes the job like this more difficult, but I probably will rectify that in another video. That whole thing turning? Yeah, of course it is. Step out of the way guys. On the plus side, taking a newish bike together, it's not rusted. So, let us get this up on my rather sketchy paddock stand. Two bloody hands. There you go. Right, it's up. It's dodgy, but it's up. Okie dokie. Right, what's next? Back off these slack adjusters. I'm hoping that I will not have to shorten the chain. However, it is such a big jump I'm going with that it's almost certain that I will. That nice. I'm not used to shiny metal. I'm only used to rust and bashing shit out with a big and bloody great hammer. Look at that. Wow. Right. What's holding that in? Oh, I see. Ow. Only my finger. Don't worry. Don't want to disconnect the brake caliper. That way. Yeah, I've never seen one like that before. take that apart any further than that. Put them cush rubbers back in. Okay, there we have it. Let's just get the other sprocket. So there you go, guys, that's the difference. So old, new. Okay. Right, what do we want there? 10mm? 10mm, don't be ridiculous. 14. I'll go 14. Let's bring the bloody lot. That's the easiest way. It is. Woohoo, got one right. With hindsight being the wonderful thing that it is, I should have took that sprocket off while it was still on the bike. Let's just see how this goes. Back in you go. There she goes. Right. What I'm doing here obviously is not reversible. I mean is reversible, should I say. So I can put this all back to where it was if it doesn't suit. However, if I have to shorten the chain, then that's what it will cost me, the price of a new chain to go back. And with regards to the chain, it's a fully sealed, riveted chain, so I've got to cut it with a grinder to get it apart and then shorten it, and then I've bought a replacement joining link, O-ring joining link, to put it back together, which I intend to be temporary. And if I like the bike and the way it rides, I will probably take it to a bike shop and have them rivet that chain properly for me. So yeah, right, I'm going to turn you off now. You've seen me take it off. Putting it back on is a reverse, and I've just got to go and look up the torque specs for the back wheel nut and the sprocket. We'll get that torqued up properly, and then we'll bring you back on when we start getting the chain on, see if we need to shorten that. Okay guys, back soon, cheers. Right, as you can see we are semi back together. There's the old sprocket down there. Might make a clock out of that actually. Anyway, that aside, yes, that there is the ABS sensor, and now I had to take that off to get the back wheel in. Other than that, apart from a bit of a bastard jiggling it into place, it weren't too bad. Now you might notice, those skilled people among you, that the chain is a little bit of slack in that. What do you reckon? So yeah, it's now or never. I'm going to shorten that chain, and then that's pretty much it. We are committed to this sprocket once that's cut, unless of course I buy a new chain, which I may have to do. I've a gut feeling that this is it's going to be too much. I think I'm gone down too much, so this may well cost me a chain. But oh, I'll tell you what I have got to do. I'll do this now while you guys are watching. The sprocket, I've only nicked up those nuts at the minute. Now I've checked that. Oh, what else? I'm giving it some welly. I've checked the torque spec, and it's 49 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench set to 30, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around at 30 just to bed it in, and then go back round again at 49, which is the required spec. So that's 30. Let's miss one out. Miss one out. Let's go round them all now. 30. That's all of them now. Nope, that one. 30. I was going to put thread lock on them as well, but there was no thread lock on them from factory. Right, then they're going to go up to 49. So that's go up to 50. And then back one. So that's 50, back one 49, so that is the correct spec. Just go ahead and check them one more time. Right, they are correctly torqued. Next job is going to be to cut that chain. Taking a grinder to a 20 plate bike. It's not right, is it? Right, let me get the grinder set up and I'll switch you back on. Cheers. Okay, right, I've got the flat wheel on there. I'm hoping just to take the ends of the link off where it's riveted over, and then hopefully just knock through. Then we can work out how long we need the chain to be. Right, let's see how it goes. Right, there you go. So just ground the tops of those off. Hopefully I'll be able to pull that top link off and just belt that through. So get some pliers and a punch. Hey Bertie, guess what? Your warranty's fault. Really? This is an O-ring chain as well, so I've got to be a bit careful. Now, being an O-ring chain, when you take a grinder to it, it sort of destroys the O-rings in that particular link. Come on, you bugger. There you go. Let's try and give them a tap. What I might have to do is just cut the grinding disc on, cut the chain off, and then take it to the bench and do what's required. Hoping not to have to, because it means taking the front sprocket cover off to get the chain back on. Probably. I can't be asked. Oh, I broke the end of the screwdriver off. Wicked. Right. I'm going to change the disc to a cutting disc, and I'm just going to cut the chain off. Back soon. Right, we're back. Cutting disc. Let's get this off. Stop fuck ass in the beer. Okay, now, as said before, I'm going to have to remove the front sprocket, or am I? So let's just see how much we need to take off. It's not going to be that much in all fairness. Probably looks worse than it is. Do you know what? I reckon one link is going to do it. I really do. Right. I am going to do that. I'm going to take the front sprocket off. I'm going to remove one link. I'm going to try and get that back on. And then we'll bring you guys back for a look. Back soon. Okay, we're back. It's about an hour later, and unfortunately this project is going to come to a premature end. I'm not going to be able to complete it. Why not, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked. Right, first thing I've done, when I cut the chain off with a grinder, I did it rather carelessly, and I've damaged more links than I needed to. And because those links were damaged, I've had to remove them. I think, however, although the adjustment is as far forward as it will go, I may have just got away with it. I'm not sure yet, but I can't go any further anyway, because now you'll see that there the link goes, and we have the joining link here, and the joining link does not fit in. Now, I don't know why that is, because it's a 520 pitch chain, and that is a 520 pitch joining link, or that's what I ordered anyway. I've measured the width of that with a micrometer, and it is 5.29 millimeters. And I've measured one of the pins that come out, well, I cut out, and they are 5.08 millimeters. So that is the incorrect link. So I've messaged the eBay guy and told him I'm waiting for a reply. But until I get a reply, unfortunately, this project is at an end, and my little Strom 250 is off the road. So until we can get the required parts, which may involve a new chain, we're pretty much done here, guys. I'll bring you back another day when we've got the bits we need. So for the time being, thanks very much, guys. Bertie Bodgett signing off.